Tonight's forecast is sponsored by Ashbrook Audiology, where relationships matter.
And we're glad that you're continuing to stick around for your Neighborhood Network news. I'm Weatherman Dustin Staples. We appreciate your company as you are watching us on several platforms, whether that is on Comcast, Cable, Channel 21, our friends on Xfinity, of course, Chat Moss Cable, and then also watching us on YouTube. That's youtube.com/BTW21News. Head over there, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are about 60% there of reaching our goal of 1,000 subscribers. So we need to tell a lot of your friends, your kids, maybe even yourself. If you have a Gmail account, it's of course free of charge to create one of those, and free of charge to subscribe to us on YouTube. All you have to do is hit the bell, and you will receive notifications. Like today, we had, of course, I believe a church programming that came on earlier on this Wednesday afternoon. You can watch that live. We also had Trash Ministries broadcasted for you as well. So we have a lot of things we're posting on there. You can get the newscast even. So if you can't watch us while we're live, or if you're on the go, all you got to do is sync us to your phone, Bluetooth us if you're able to do so. If you're traveling, of course, safely do that too, so you can have the news going while you're doing your daily busy life. Hey, if you're at home, we thank you for doing that too, and maybe you've been out because it's been so nice, and it's going to continue to be nice if they make your way for us the next several nights and days. Our lows dropped, get this, in the upper 40s. We had 49 here at the center outside the city of Martinsville this morning. We had some 48, I think, outside of Patrick County as well. So Medicine particularly was pretty chilly. So everybody saw the low 50s, or if not the upper 40s today, and we're going to quickly cool off, but not as drastically as we saw this morning, though, with that sunshine continuing to take apart in us as well. 74 degrees, plentiful sunshine. Don't forget to take advantage of it also as you're doing so. Make sure to have look at the little chroma key. It's doing its thing again. I love when it does its the fine thing at its finest there. Clear skies continue to move out for us for the rest of tonight. Temperature wholly and steadily staying in the 60s to the low to mid 50s out there for tonight. Our overnight lows area-wide will be going to the low and mid 50s with those clear to mostly, crisp, cool night ahead of us. So feeling like a late September, early October morning once again for us, as our as our overnight lows remained in the 50s. So not a bad night to maybe throw on the grill, and better yet, if you like grilled s'mores, if you haven't done that, I would highly suggest doing that. That is a good toasty treat. Treat yourself, or just grill dinner out in general. Tomorrow, another sunny full day is in the making for us. Seasonable once more. Really not much change in our forecast. I told you there's going to be not much of a discrepancy to be discussing, because everything is going to be a carbon copy and repeat. A high of 81 here in the city across our regions, low 80s, some 70s even outside our towards the northern part of Patrick County. Once again, 80 there in Stewart, 80 both also in Franklin County and Rocky Mount and Ferrum districts. So a lot of our college football, maybe Ferrum College if you're hitting a football game this weekend up there, or better yet, if you're doing to any local high school sports, as you stay tuned for Chad Hall. He's going to come up a little bit later in the newscast to talk to you about our upcoming game of the weekend, some other sports that we have reoccurring once again. So maybe practice the football. Of course, our JV team goes out there and practices about every Thursday, I think, or Thursday's their game on Thursday night. I'm not sure where they're going, but I do know the Martinsville Bulldogs are playing Dan River, which is our game of the week. Hey, speaking of we'll transition here, not much of sports. Yeah, this is dryness. You see here the brown beige color all across much of the U.S. here. Not really much of a change in precipitation. You have to, our friends outside of Florida there, and even Alaska, this is typical for them. And obviously our friends down towards Florida, if this was, if we had a hurricane coming, which we're going to talk about in just a second, not hurricane, but something is brewing in the Gulf of Mexico or Atlantic Ocean. But other than that, not much to complain about. Dry is the theme, almost below average here. So once again, you kind of see our color coordinating percentages down there. The darker the shade, the higher the percentage of the color color is, the lighter the shade of that color is a lower percentage. And if there's no color on there, just indicates near normal or at near normal conditions. We talked about that because the drought across much of the East Coast is looking pretty okay. Our friends up towards Pennsylvania, New York, New Jersey, Vermont, New Hampshire are seeing some severe drought out that mine. Elsewhere, again, Missouri, Kentucky, earlier this summer, as you remember that, they had all that flooding that took place out there. Now they're doing pretty okay, except for parts of Missouri now. They're seeing a bit of a drought, and the drought that continues to persist out west is also fueling wildfires out towards California, out towards that area, Southern California to be specific, and now that air is moving up towards Oregon and Washington coastlines, so they're dealing with some little of a concern for some smoke ventilation out towards again the west coast, where there is a major fire that's also going on to effect. Let's talk about the tropics real quick, because again, not much of a hot topic this summer. Now that we're finally approaching peak season, I told you last week it was fairly quiet. I mean, we had Earl and Danielle that left towards the middle Atlantic and gone up towards parts of Portugal and Spain. Not much of an impact for U.S. So here we go. Alex, Bonnie, Danielle, and Alex, Bonnie, Colin, Daniela, and Earl. I'm thinking of another C name came to mind. Carla, that is. I don't believe there's been a Carla. Anyway, forget the C names I just stand there. Here's what's remaining out towards the rest of the season here. Again, Fiona, Gaston, Hermaine. I told you, I was trying to make sure I Gaston, it was correct. Told you last week I wasn't 100% sure about that name. So, but rest of the names go to shore. Hey, we have a lot to go through. Hopefully, we will not have to get this far down to the hurricane alphabet season. As you know, the last several years we have done that, just because of how long the season has been persistent. Of course, as you remember, in 2020, we went all the way through the Greek alphabet. I believe we got through, Alpha, Beta, Gamma, Delta, Iota, I think, or Kappa, somewhere right around there. You're going to have to do your own homework for that one. I don't know Greek names on the top of my head. So, but anyway, here's what we got going right now. This is a potential storm that may form here in the next day or so. We got to keep a close eye on this as the Western Antilles came off of that into the Leeward Islands is where this storm may go towards over the next several days. Could be strengthened to a storm, then it looks like it may downgrade to a depression. We will see what this entails over the next several days, because obviously some of the computer models kind of have it making this hook of a turn and then going out to sea. Others kind of bring it closer to inland. So we have to see where it is in track for this. Again, Tropical Depression 7 is this storm we're keeping a close eye on right now. And if it does become a name, the next named storm would be Fiona, as you saw on that list a little bit ago. So tropics are heating up. The temperatures, not as much though. I mean, we're going to be warming up slightly a little bit as we go towards next week. It does appear that we may have some mid-80s returning for us for our region. So as the official start of fall begins next Thursday, so 7 days from Thursday will be the official start of the summer equinox. So, the autumn equinox. The summer equinox is ending, going into autumn. It's going to feel like summer still, because our temperatures are going to warm back up in the mid-80s once again, and but dew points, the humidity levels are expected to remain quite low. So I'm going to be friendly to kind of cover that. Look at that, we're that perfect size for me, right, to cover that up for you. So we'll keep a close eye, obviously, on the tropics, see what happens between now and the end of the week, going into next week. But in the meantime, another cool, crisp night is in the making with those clear skies, with more abundant sunshine taking apart for our Thursday. So you have my approval for outdoor recess, and maybe better yet, if you like just some outdoor classes, go out there and take advantage of them. Just do know the pollen will be pretty high. Stick around, we have a lot more news coming up after this.
Your BTW21 weather forecast is sponsored by Zentmeyer Chiropractic.